Will things go wrong? Yes. Will some of those days be blown up because of sickness or extra events that pop up or friends that pop into town? Yes. This isn't perfection. This is about being planned so that let's say planned and organized so that you can enjoy the inevitable chaos that is to come.
I love everything about the Christmas season. And so it's a season that I know not everybody loves because it can be stressful for so many different reasons. You know, we just had Bob Lepine come on and talk about his book, The Four Emotions of Christmas, and just kind of how to work through some of those emotions. And so we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk more homeschool focused, how we as homeschool mamas can really find joy in this season and make it a little bit easier for us, if that's possible. And I think it is, if we're intentional. So talk to us about Christmas. I mean, do you love Christmas? Is this one of your favorite times of the year, like it is mine?
Well, I love Christmas, but I found myself not loving Christmas for a while because Christmas for us as homeschool moms can be so many things. It's all of the pressure. And, I would find myself saying, I just want to celebrate Jesus's birthday. This is terrible.
Right. Yeah.
And so I realized early on that organization in all areas was going to be so important if I was going to pull this off so that I was joyful, because if I wasn't joyful, guess who else wasn't joyful? My entire family.
Right.
So just a little background, and your situation doesn't have to be like mine, but we celebrate a birthday in December. I know you also have a December birthday in your home.
Yeah.
We have a busy sports season continuing on through at least part of December. Of course, I love the idea of setting aside some of the things that we normally do for school and replacing with some special things. Well, that's extra planning. And then when you have a lot of kids active in music lessons and church and sports, you also have extra gifts or cookies to make or whatever needs to be done. Plus, throw on top of that all the opportunities you have for serving people and being parts of Christmas plays or musicals or whatever at church. And you can soon find yourself completely overwhelmed. So organization is what I would love to talk about today.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So the first thing I did when I decided I've got to be more joyful is say, well, let's go ahead, just like I might menu plan if I was going to head to Costco and only go once every 6 weeks to Costco, I would make out a list of what do I need at Costco, right? Well, I took that mentality about the month of December and I thought, okay, well, we've got certain things that have to happen. So let's start first by looking at the calendar. So, just making sure that I know every single thing that every single member of the family has as a responsibility for that month, whether it's a Christmas party for my husband for work, Christmas parties for co-op, Christmas parties or games for sports. Are we still doing music lessons? Are there any special service opportunities? Just get every single one of those things on the calendar.
Yeah.
And a Google Calendar is what I use, but I also keep a written calendar year round.
Okay.
But for sure, I would suggest if you don't have that, normally, if you're just electronic, go ahead and pull yourself out a calendar that will take you from Thanksgiving all the way through the new year. That's on paper so that you can jot all of these things down and see them at a glance. That way you're going to be able to easily insert the extras or be able to see quickly, you know what, that extra is not happening.
Yeah.
So the dates on the calendar were kind of step one. Let's just get that. That's easy. It's really, I mean, it's a few minutes of your time, and it might be wrangling somebody who's not really good at communicating what's going on in their life, but that was my first step, getting everything on the calendar. And then I thought, well, in order to make these days run smoothly, let's go ahead and get a menu planned out for this entire, from Thanksgiving through Christmas, through New Year's, actually, because our family loves to celebrate a New Year's Eve appetizer party. And we have different foods for appetizers on New Year's Eve. So I thought we would just we would schedule out all the different foods. And if there were any parties that I was responsible for, any hosting for any of these events, go ahead and get those menus and things planned too. So when I say menus, I'm talking about if I'm hosting Christmas dinner, yes, that menu already planned out. And this is pre-Thanksgiving. So this is me right now thinking about all of the meals from Thanksgiving through the new year.
Wow. Okay.
And it's
So you're talking every day, like you actually plan out what dinners you're going to have every day from now. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Love that.
Yes. And it keeps me on track. I mean, I kind of wish that I would do this all year long, honestly.
Right.
Because when you have a plan, and inevitably you overplan. So
Sure.
some days you wake up and go, oh, we have so many leftovers. I don't have to cook what's on the calendar today. And you can just
Right.
cross that one out and put whatever ingredients that were going to go in that day and stick those in the freezer. And you
Mhm.
find yourself with a little extra time. So that was like step number 2.
Okay.
So calendar, and then menu plan.
Mhm.
And then it was, okay, the big beast. Besides all of the activities, which I actually love, I love all of the activities around Christmas. Third on that list is going ahead and planning out the gifts and things that I need to buy. Because honestly, that is the thing that annoyed me the absolute most
Yeah.
and kept me feeling like I was behind the 8 ball all day, every day through Christmas, and feeling that burden of, oh, I've got to buy for this person, I've got to buy for that person. And then spending more money than I should have because I wasn't completely planned. So I write down every person, and I don't buy for a ton of people, but I put down every single person from the drum teacher to the conditioning coach to
Mhm.
the coach that is on the court at the basketball games to the Sunday school teacher. I just write everybody's name down. And
Mhm.
then I start including my children, my husband. I need to buy, just anybody on that
Sure.
list. Get yourself a little spiral notebook. This is a
Mhm.
good place to put this. And then you just start brainstorming. Okay, for coaches, they've worked really hard with my son this year. So I'm actually going to buy them a gift card to a restaurant. And I write that down. For the Sunday school teacher, I don't know. This is me just making something up in my head right
Yeah.
now. The Sunday school teacher, the youth leader, I know that they both love Kentucky Derby pies. We're going to make them a Kentucky Derby pie.
That is
Ooh,
a
and
very Kentucky thing to say.
yes, that's I'm from
Because I have
Kentucky.
no idea what that is.
It's kind of like a chocolate pecan pie.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, it is
Oh.
so good. Now, some of them have other things in them. I usually leave the other things out. We
Okay.
won't go there right now. But and that will become an activity, a service project, a Christmas schooling fun thing for my son to help me make. I'm only
Yeah.
homeschooling one right now, so that's why I keep talking just about this son. So that becomes an activity that we can do.
Right.
And so I just write down, what are we going to do for these people, buy for these people? And then I even note in that calendar, remember that running calendar,
Mhm.
when do these things have to be delivered? I go ahead and even write that down on the list.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's number 3. And then the fourth thing is I go ahead and do everything in preparation for those gifts. If I need to buy something, I buy it. If I need to order something, I order it. If I need to have ingredients prepared, as much as possible, I go ahead and get those ingredients. So I kind of have this running grocery list too, which I guess I didn't even mention when I started talking about the meal planning. Let's go ahead and get a running grocery list. What's in the pantry? What needs to be purchased? And then I even will start like a pantry grocery list, a gift grocery list, and I need to shop every week for things that expire grocery list. I
Okay.
literally write all of this stuff out.
Wow.
It is saving me so much. It sounds like a lot, but you're talking maybe a few hours of my time in total to
Mhm.
prepare all of this. Writing
Yeah.
down the calendar, writing down a quick menu plan, writing down the grocery list that goes with it, writing down the gifts, and going ahead and ordering the gifts or planning on that grocery list for preparation for that.
Yeah.
You're literally not even in probably a few hours of your time,
Yeah.
especially if you have an older kiddo or maybe your husband who likes to do this. Mine does not. So, an older kiddo who wants to sit down and help you think through these things. They
Yeah.
are so valuable for this.
Yeah.
And then the final preparation stage, which doesn't have to, take just a little bit longer, is step number 5. And that is going ahead and planning what school will look like for that entire space between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
If you're someone who just keeps things going as usual, okay, you have less to plan than I do. Because I tend to take a little break from the regular, and we do what we call Christmas schooling, which every single year has looked like something different. There's a blog post on our journey westward that says, I think it's called Christmas School,
Okay.
that gives all sorts of ideas and examples of what we've done.
Okay.
But I will write down what devotion that I'm planning to use. I will write, so in the past couple of years, well, I'll just give you maybe a couple of years ago, my very favorite of all, we went through the Ann Voskamp book called Maybe the Greatest Gift of All. I'm not exactly sure what the book is called, but it
Okay.
was a daily Advent devotional.
Okay.
And there were these beautiful illustrations. Well, I thought, you know what? We're going to read one of these a day, and I'm going to buy wooden circular ornaments.
Uh-huh.
And every single day, we're going to do a devotion and then just go right into a time where we paint an ornament based on that specific story of Advent.
Oh,
My
fun.
son and I did that together. I will never, those ornaments will go with me for the rest of my life. They
Oh,
turned out to be
fun.
the most beautiful things. They remind us of the story of Advent, and it was the most precious memory. So it's things like that that I'll say, okay, this year's devotion is this.
Yeah.
And then is there another activity that we're going to do daily? I actually wrote a nature study guide for this. It's called Nature
Okay.
Study Through the Holidays, Advent. And
Okay.
so it's one where you can take on a weekly theme, the Advent theme, and it gives you some Bible study to do, some hymns to sing,
Fun.
some nature walks to take, and even some additional books and things that you can read. And again, that doesn't have to be your all day, every day. If you want to do some Christmas school, you could just say, we're going to do regular stuff just to keep things without getting too excitable through this Christmas season. But we'll take every Friday and we'll do Fun Fridays. So you
Oh,
could
fun.
take something like that book and grab your Fun Friday activities.
Yeah.
It's also what we will pop in for the Christmas schooling are things like those service projects. So I'll say, well, we're going to give those pies to the teachers on December 20th. Let's pretend like Sunday is December 20th. So the 18th is going to be pie baking day. And
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and I'll have that calendar of what are our events in front of me while I'm also putting together what does our school look like. So it's kind of like we're just planning out the whole month. Will things go wrong? Yes. Will some of those days be blown up because of sickness or extra events that pop up or friends that pop into town? Yes. This isn't perfection. This is about being planned so that let's say planned and organized so that you can enjoy the inevitable chaos that is to come.
Yeah.
If you don't get through everything on your schooling list, it's okay.
Sure.
But
at least you have a plan.
Yeah. So that's it's as simple as that. It's like my 5 steps to organization to keep myself being able to then sit in those activities and enjoy the Christmas lights that we go see. Enjoy the musical that we signed up to attend, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going, oh my goodness, and almost hyperventilating or having a panic attack because of all the to-dos that are still on that list.
Yeah.
It's made life just incredibly easier.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.